Hey guys, Kev here, and I want to talk about Kizer today. So I'm still playing catch up from my trip, and I have a boatload of Kizers to show you guys. I have to get to all the August stuff soon, but this is the July stuff still. So hopefully some of you guys haven't seen these, or if you have them in hand, and you guys can give me some information in the comments, right? So I was going to split this video up. Or these knives up into two videos for July. I'm going to do the locking knives, and then I'm going to do the fixed blades. Now this is actually a prototype, so this one's not dropping or has not dropped. This is a prototype of the Kizer Mash. So this is a collaboration with Kizer and Divo knives. So Colin and I worked with Kizer on this. Believe it or not, this project actually started over 2 years ago, back when the Mash was an exclusive at Blue Creek Knives. We reached out to Kizer to do OEM on a button lock version of this knife. And what ended up happening was we got prototypes. That took a little while. We got the prototypes, and we weren't sure if we wanted to run it because it had a plunge lock style button lock, and we just didn't know if we wanted to deal with warranty. And it was the time of when a lot of button locks were coming out, and I really didn't like button locks at the time, and people were spine whacking them and failing them and stuff. So yeah, so we kind of were like, a little hesitant, and we ended up deciding like, hey, why don't we reach out to Kizer and see if they want to pick it up as a licensed project and have them do the button lock themselves. And it would be a good way to get one of our models in at Kizer, and so we did that, and Kizer was up for it, and we signed an agreement, and then they started working on it. And I think we got one other prototype of the button lock, and then last blade show, not 2025, 2024 blade show, I saw the mini grouper, and the mini grouper had a button lock, but it was a compression lock. So I immediately reached out to my contact at Kizer and said, hey, could you do our knife with that lock instead of the button lock? Because if you guys know me, you know I hate spring locks. I don't really like button locks, the plunge lock style ones. So any chance I got to switch that, I was going to. And luckily, last year is when the compression lock got hot with the buttons. So we reached out, and they said, sure can do. So it took more time because of that, obviously. And they did tell me that they're in production now, I guess. And they sent this prototype, which they had at Blade Show 2026, which seemed like a lot of people were into it. So if you saw it there, let me know what you thought. But this one actually has polished DLC, purple haze fat carbon, and then black PVD, I guess, on the hardware and everything. There are some changes that I wanted to make to this. I'm not sure if they're going to be able to make those in time. I don't know where they stand with it. I haven't gotten a response since I sent my feedback, but those things would be, I'll show you our version of this. So this is the Mash V3 prototype from Divo. These will come out in 2026 sometime. But basically, theirs is a little bit longer, so it's like 3.4, 3.5 inch blade. It's a little bit bigger, but they're very similar. So I would add a sharpening choil because the plunge grind on this is not my favorite. It comes up to basically where the edge termination is, at least as far as I can tell. So I would add the little notch there. That was something we added on this version, which is why it wasn't already in the file when we gave it to them for this. I'd love to see a milled pocket clip and then a filler tab, but I'm not sure that's going to happen. They told us they were doing this in their Vanguard series, and then if it did well, they would make it premium. But then at Blade Show, they showed up with purple haze and DLC polish. But, so I don't know what that means exactly, but it seems like it is a little bit more premium. So I'm not sure if it's going to be Nitro V like their Vanguard series is a lot. But they originally told us micarta and whatever the budget steel is. So we'll see what happens. I think they're definitely doing this version though, but Anyway, in the closed position, it has this interesting look right here. I'm guessing because of the lock they had to do that. Where on ours, we have sort of a rounded area that Colin was really particular about. And then when it's open, that goes straight on with the handle and kind of dives down in. On this one, you have a very similar look when open, but a very different look when closed. So I just asked if they could add some more material here again, but I'm not sure if they'll be able to do that. Honestly, I kind of think it looks interesting because it's different. So not the end of the world to me on that. I'd love to see a filler tab here. I think I said that. Even if they don't do a mill clip, I'd love to see just this shaped filler tab, so you don't have that open area that's a little sharp there. And then I think I said pivot collars would be dope. It always gives a pop of color. Like, it'd be cool if some of this stuff was purple. But again, not sure what they can and cannot do. But that's the Kizer version of the Mash with a compression button lock. So let me know what you guys think of that. If you're excited to check it out. The action's great. Detent's money. That all feels really, really good. The flick is on point. So I'm really happy with that. Works really well left-handed too. I love how the button came out. We wanted it to kind of match the design of this area. We always have this kind of interesting milling pattern up in that corner. It's hard to see on the carbon fiber ones, but yeah. So that's that. Let's talk about some of the releases that they had in July. This is the Skinner. So this is a Marseille Tourbet design. We've seen him before. Sorry about butchering that name. We have a liner lock with Ultim scales. It is blasted Ultim. I wish it was polished so you could really see through it and get a really good look at the internals. So it's flipper only. It has what I would consider a half-track style blade. Just reminds me of the Hinderer half-track, just kind of stretched out a little bit. You have a finger choil up here that you can choke up on. Feels really good in that grip. You have, interestingly, you have these kind of like chamfers here on the sides up top. And I'm trying to figure out what that's for. So a lot of times you'll see that on a knife that has a flipper tab, and it'll be there to act as a landing spot, right? But the problem is it's all the way up here. So when you flick this or flip it, your hand goes down here, which is actually a little uncomfortable because you're running right into this hump. And if you hit it on the side at all, it's a little bit pointy. It's not bad. It's not like the end of the world, but it is your only form of deployment. So it'd be nice if that was nice and smooth and had that chamfer down here. So I don't know if it was meant for that and they just put it in the wrong place, or if it's meant to be a thumb spot for you to rest your thumb when you're cutting or whatever. In that case, I guess that would work. I'm always going to go in the choil and choke up like this, which again is very comfortable. Has nice thin blade stock, Nitro V blade steel. The action is very good. Centered. I mean, all of that stuff is nice. Let me know what you guys think of the Skinner. I think it's a cool knife. No way to flick it or anything like that. I tried. You're just stuck with that flipper tab, which honestly is fine with me. I like flipper only knives. I don't want every knife to be flipper only, but that one's fine. This is the Meteora, I believe it's called. The Meteora. This is a Evgeny Bolyachev design. We've seen his work before as well with Kizer. And I actually saw a version of this at Knife Addict Dylan had one where he made custom scales for it. I think it was 80s or Purple Flow. And it looked real good. Really nice with the camo carbon. At least I think he made the scales. Unless he bought it like that. But he makes scales. So if anybody needs custom scales, you want carbon fiber scales on something, like anything, hit him up. It's Knife Addict Dylan. He's got a channel. He's got, you know, he also does brutally honest takes. So if you like my style, you'll like his style as well. Black on the thumb studs there. Nice machine satin here. Really good ergonomics. This grip feels excellent. You do have proud liners. I'm a big fan of nested liners. This one has a little bit of stick. I don't know why I was going for a flipper tab there that doesn't exist. It has a little bit of stick, so I don't know if that's just, it needs to be cleaned up a little bit. Sometimes you got a little bit of oil on that lock bar. You know, they make hundreds of these things, and you know, they may not have time to clean every lock bar and get the oil off and whatnot. So, you know, you might just have to do a little bit of cleaning. That's the first thing I always do when I feel a lock stick, is check that. It's very minor. You can hear it. I'll put it up to the mic. I'll cut the mic in half. You hear that? That's lock up. That's the lock bar right there. So it's not hard to disengage or anything like that. It's just a little click. I think that would wear in, honestly. It's really good detent, nice and stout, feels good. Good reverse flick. Not necessarily stout, it's just perfect. Like, it's strong enough on the thumb flick, like great on the thumb flick, and strong enough on the front flip. It's got a little double clutch going there, but let me see that again. Where's that detent? It's here. Yeah, it's not great. It's a late detent, but it's not terrible. You would easily be able to get that with muscle memory. Yeah, I like this design. I'd like to see a premium version of this with titanium scales. You know, no liners or whatever. I think that would be a really nice looking model if they pimp this one out. So that's the Meteora. And then the last one is the combination. This is the combo of Jonathan Stiles and Paul Munko. How about that? Let's mix those two guys together. This is the Aura. We have crystallized titanium scales. Look at that. Absolutely sexy. I love how that looks with the purple and the blue and everything. The blurple crystallized tie. Really nice. It's a slim, sleek design. You have a hole for deployment. Really cool looking blade. It's got a poon on it. I mean, this thing's really nice. It is a liner lock. I do wish it was a little thinner. You have proud liners. Again, I'm not sure what's going on with that. Obviously, that's more affordable to make, but you know, you're talking about two of your best designers, two of your most prominent designers. I would go all out for them and do a nested liner lock, right? Would have made the most sense to me. So, you know, it's a little bit chunky. We can see what the thickness is. I'm betting it's, my guess is going to be 5.2 or 5.4. Maybe I'm wrong. We'll see. Maybe it's thinner. Ooh, hold on. 5.0 there. What's up here? Okay, 5.2. Yeah, 5.1, 5.2. So I was a little off. Oops, zero that. But yeah, it just feels a little bit clunky because of that. It's like flat scales, and then it's got proud liners, and so yeah, I mean, I just feel like they could have gone a little bit harder on this one. I mean, I feel like they've gone really all out on the Militaw, you know. So they could have given it the treatment because it's a really cool design. I still like it a lot. Very comfortable, even though it's a little girthy. You don't have anywhere to choke up on it, but you can just put your finger up here if you want. See, technically you could choke up here. I would just do this, right? It's a hand satin, actually. What did I say? Did I say machine? Or was that the other knife? This is a hand satin. That's gorgeous. That's gorgeous. That's the kind of billboarding I want, right? If you're going to give me billboarding, because Kizer has to do billboarding, right? That's what I want. I want it to be really small. And I guess they I guess they did the same thing on ours. But it stands out maybe because it's a black with it's white, where this is a satin. Makes it look a little better. I don't like billboarding at all. If you guys know that, we hate billboarding. We would just not have our name on it. Would be nice, or just have it on the liners or something. I think I asked them if they could just put it like right here along the bottom to hide it inside the scales. But this is cool. It also has crystallized tie backspacer. That crystallized tie is gorgeous. Little lanyard pin there. Milled pocket clip, internally mounted. Ooh, ooh. Ooh, let me see if that even works. Yeah, that's, ooh. I got it in. That's what she said, but it like sounded like it shredded my pocket. So the clip is a little too tight. Yeah, I don't know if you're going to be able to adjust that out. It's just a short, you know, probably needs some relief under there, but whatever. Wanted to point that out. There you go. That's the Aura from Munko and Styles. Let me know which one of these you guys would pick up. These are the ones that came out in July. And then, of course, you have the Mash that is working its way through their system. And I'll come back with a couple of fixed blades. There's a really cool one, in my opinion. I really dig it, from Justin Lundquist. If you haven't seen it, check out that video. It's coming soon. I love you guys. And, oh, there's a link in the description for Kizer. If you want to pick these up, you can. It helps the channel. If not, you guys do your thing. I love you. I hope you have a great day. And I will catch you later.